Hi there guys, it's Chris here with selfmadenewbie.com, and in this video we're going to go through the best gaming monitors for PS5. Now I've tried to keep this list pretty comprehensive, so I've narrowed it down from about 15 to my top 5 or 6, and there should be something in this list for everybody no matter what you're looking for. So before we jump into it, it really helps out the channel if you drop a like on this video, hit subscribe and turn on that bell if you want to be updated with new videos. Alright, so I'm going to skip any fluff talk guys and just dive right in. If you want to review the recommendations that I'm giving these, links are right there in the description. You can review the recommendations that I'm giving each one and check them out on your own. So the first one on my list is the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 S32 BG85, and this is my recommendation for the best overall monitor, overall gaming experience. And this is coming in with a 250 Hz refresh rate with HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. You can also play 4K games up to 120 FPS on the PS5 with this without any issue. And if you're gaming at 120 Hz, this monitor delivers a fantastic gaming experience with almost no noticeable blur, even in busy scenes, and incredibly low lag as well. So it includes a variable refresh rate or VARR support, which also works with the PS5 to reduce screen tearing. Another great feature of this is an impressive mini LED backlighting and high contrast ratio, so your games look really great in the dark, and the HDR content looks great as the decent full array local dimming system helps to deliver bright highlights next to the deep blacks. So this is a 32-inch screen with a 240 Hz refresh rate. It has a variable refresh rate, and the native resolution is 3840 by 2160, and it includes HDR10 as well. Now the next one on my list is probably the number one on most people's list, but this is, I'm going to give my recommendation for the best sort of upper mid-range monitor, but not my best overall. But this is the Sony InZone M9. So this is coming in at 27 inches, refresh rate of 144 Hz. It does have VRR. The native resolution is 3840 by 2160, and it does include HDR10. Now this just simply doesn't deliver the same quality as the Samsung or include the mini LED backlighting, but it is still an amazing choice, definitely second on the list. So it has a really great response time at 120 Hz and also quick at 60 Hz as well for great motion handling. It has low input lag for a responsive feel, and the VRR support there to help reduce screen tearing as well. So it works without issue with the PS5 as it has 2 ports with HDMI 2.1 for that high frame rate gaming. And really a lot of people think this is really made for the PS5, even from down to the design of it kind of looking like one. Now the next one on my list is my recommendation for a mid-range monitor if you don't want to spend as much. For the Sony, this is another great option and also a bigger option. So this is a 32-incher, and this is the Gigabyte M32U, pixel type IPS, 144 Hz refresh rate with VRR. The native resolution is the same with 3840 by 2160 and also HDR10 as well. Now it doesn't have the same proprietary features as the Sony InZone, like auto HDR tone mapping, and the edge lit local dimming feature not as good. But obviously you're getting something cheaper. You have to sacrifice a bit of picture quality, but you still get an excellent quick response time gaming at 120 Hz. So your favorite games are still going to look really great with very low input lag and just a very responsive experience. It's fully compatible with PS5, of course, supporting up to 4K 128 Hz gaming, thanks to the HDMI 2.1 bandwidth as well. Now you can easily share your screen with other people as it does have these wide viewing angles, and the stand as well has good ergonomic adjustments, so it looks really good in bright rooms as well. It has good peak brightness and decent reflection handling. But in darkroom performance, it is a little bit limited due to its low contrast ratio. So if that's important to you, maybe consider the brother to this, which is the Gigabyte M32 UC, which is very similar to this, but with higher contrast, but the motion handling won't be as good. Now the next one on my list is for those of you who just want to spend a little bit less, but you don't want to go full budget. This is the LG 32 GP850B. This is a 32-incher as well. Pixel type is IPS, 180 Hz refresh rate with VRR, and a native resolution slightly less than the last three of 2560 by 1440, but includes HDR10. So if you want to save a little bit more money from the Gigabyte M32, this option has a lower 1440 pp resolution, so it's not going to be as sharp, and it downscales 4K images from the PS5, resulting in a sharper image than a native 1440p signal, but you are limited to a 60 Hz refresh rate with that because it doesn't support HDMI 2.1 bandwidth for 4K at 120 Hz gaming. So if you want a faster refresh rate, you'll have to play 1080p or 1440p games. Now, because it doesn't support HDMI 4 and VRR, which is the VRR format that PS5 uses, you might see some screen tearing in some games, but no 1440p monitor supports HDMI 4 and VRR anyway, so this is something that you should really be expecting with a lower end monitor. The real highlight of this though is that it is a solid 32-incher, and it's not going to cost you that much. Now, my final recommendation is for the best budget option, and this is the ViewSonic XG2431. This is a 24-inch monitor, max refresh rate of 240 Hz with VRR, but the native resolution is 1920 by 1080 with HDR10. So if you are on a budget and you want a monitor for your PS5, this is probably the best lower resolution option that still has great gaming performance. 24-inch screen, the lower 1080p resolution than the LG, so it doesn't deliver the same immersive experience. However, it's still great for gaming on your own if you're looking to not break the bank. So the resolution is great for 1080p gaming on the PS5 at 60 or even 120 Hz, and it can also downscale a 4K image if you prefer that. Now, it doesn't support the PS5's VRR feature, so you'll get some screen tearing if the frame rate of your game drops. And although it has a max refresh rate of 240 Hz, this is only beneficial if you're going to be using it for PC gaming on the side. So this is a great option if you predominantly do PC gaming with sort of PS5 on the side. This is going to be a great option for that, as it still has an incredible response time at 120 Hz and remains very quick at 60 with great smooth motion. Now, this also has customizable backlight strobing feature, so you can adjust that backlight flicker to your liking to help reduce any persistence blur. Alright guys, so I've tried to keep that list as comprehensive as possible depending on how much money you want to spend. I've given you my best budget option, and then I've gone up basically 4 more steps up to my high-end option, and then my best overall in that Samsung. So hopefully I've covered all the angles there and offered something for everybody, no matter what your budget is. If you do have any questions, drop them in the comments, and if you found value in this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.